Uh, Everyone, I know. You watched the Cave Story stream and was like, yeah, you said no Doodle Empires today. And, well, I lied, man. I lied. Alright. So now we're going to play. Yeah, because there is a few things I need to get out of the way right now. Yeah, we're going to talk about the age. Let me see the age. Alright, today we're just going to make day 600, and then we're going to call this the age of rediscovered. So yeah, we're going to become a rediscoverer, and then yeah, welcome to the age of rediscovered. So yeah, today we're going to head out and then see what is happening in the world right now. Alright, yeah. Cave Story messed up my keyboard. Well, Roblox did, but yeah, I can't believe it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably not use the mouse on that ever again. But anyways, now, last time, let's talk about the recap. First of all, we see the Grand Crablandia was split again. Back to this. So yeah, technically, it's Crablandia now. Technically. It's not going to be called Crablandia, technically. Yeah, Mexico, a Mexican rebellion formed down south, which split them in two. And then we talk about Beastland was shortened to an island. They managed to regain all their lands back and push them way back here. We also see Mama got captured, but now by them, and then also we try to see this nation, the United Union, before it fall, capture Mama, but also we'll talk about that a little later. The Central American Union has managed to successfully unite Central America, of course. We also see the fall of Mora Chico. We see a civil war start in the United Caribbean. Brazil is dealing with this rebellion right here. Well, this half rebellion, of course. Now it's peaceful. And we see the establishment of Saboa. Oh yeah, and the People's Republic of Argentina took over. And nearly almost took over all of Argentina. But not yet. There's still a lot to go. So yeah, there's also Africa, fully united. There's Tanzania, Egypt. The Byzantines collapsed, along with Rome died, and the Dutch made deals to make them more economic stable. We see Norway reforming like a Nordic Rus, like a Oslo Rus kind of like country. Yeah, Norway's probably like the Nordic Rus. That's what we're going to call it right now. Norwegian Rus. Yeah, that is. And this will also be kind of like the final one in the trilogy. Probably. Technically, we got 6 thieves. The first trilogy was like right here. And the third one is still my favorite. But we might see some good stories right here. Yeah, we also see. Yeah, Serbia was also formed with the remnants of Byzantine right here. And oh yeah, we got Japan coming from both from the Crablandians before of this Mexican coast of the Crablandians, along with Californians and also the Central Americans to form their own nation. So now, let's talk about the age right now. There's going to be more unity now, technically. Division is still high though. It's still high. Conflict is also less likely, but we'll see. We'll see. Barren names. There's going to be more splits and unions. It also expands. They're also going to be more likely to happen. Oh yeah, and the new leaders will put it like this. But now that we're going out of the way, the recap out of the way, let's start. Now, first of all, before we get started with the drama, we need to talk about what happened during the United Union Beast War. That's what we're going to call it, the Union Beast War. So yeah, the United Union managed to, during when Mr. Beast had its civil war, yeah, managed to invade through Beastland until New York, where they were like, yo, we got, where they captured Mama, and then, which was ordered by the Dutch to take him back, so that they can try to prisoner successfully, or whatever they're going to do. But the United Union refused, and as a result, we got something way worse than the White House getting burned. It was this capital right here that got eviscerated. They're bad. But now, alright. So yeah, they did get eviscerated, but luckily it wasn't too bad. So yeah, now they got Miami right here, so but now they also talk about what happened to Miami after the war. So yeah, the United Union was going to put her in a prison in Miami until a few things badly happened, which was obviously the allegations that about the leader of Kadoa. You know what? Let's change her name to Kadoa. Kadoa. That's what her new name is. Deal with it. Now, Kadoa was trying to, well, was well known for trying to become more rich than it, even though their constitution says all people are equal, and then they just write all are equal, but some are more equal than others. If you don't know the reference, then go watch the first movie or read a book of it, of that quote. So yeah, they now kind of like, are you good? So United Union was like, yep. And then they were like, Jimmy is mad at you right now. So they were like, alright, we can do this. And then they just straight up invaded their whole mainland and left them in the Caribbean, which is now, the Caribbean is right here. It was formed right here. And also, the United Union was formed up here. No way. But now they lost. And are now in the Caribbean now. But also, Mama, now back to Mama. What happened to her? So yeah, Mama, during the war, stayed hidden in a prison right here. And also, when they were trying to find her. Yeah, one of the prisoners messed up and then just left with one of the prisoners, letting her out, and they now fled to Crablandia. So yeah, now she upsetted the Dutch, she upsetted the United Unions, they upsetted Beastland, the real Beastland, not the rebellion. And they were trying to get her for answers because of the man who funded the rebellion in the first place. So yeah, they are now kind of upset at that. And now they're going to try and get some answers from Crablandia. And they're like, yo, Crablandia, can we send some troops to find Mama? And then they're like, who's Mama? I never heard of her. So yeah, Beeson was like, yo, we need to take her back now. If we don't do that, we're in huge trouble. So yeah, they were like, I don't believe you. If you step through my doors, we're going to immediately shoot you. So good luck. So yeah, that failed very bad. So yeah, and then they just tried to find that guy right here that they were missing for the rebellion, who's responsible for that rebellion. But luckily, they managed to safely get this one rebellion right here. They decided to keep this one because it was more like a friendly rebellion right here. So yeah, this rebellion didn't manage to fail, but their counterpart, which was a peaceful one, managed to get over here. But now, let's get to where we need to go. Tanzania. They get a small expand. Yeah, they were expanding more recently, and now they're expanding more to right in the flat terrains. They also managed to discover some islands right here, and they were pretty much good at waterlands. And also, we're now heading towards Ethiopia. So yeah, now this is what Tanzania now looks like. Next up, Norwegian Rus. They get a medium expand. Now, the Norwegian Rus decide, yeah, let's border up with the Dutch. Make sure, and also the Europeans too, so that they don't try to get after them in the future. So yeah, they also border up with the Lars Moldova and managed to get some coastline in the Crimean Sea. Now linking up to right here. They now have kind of like a big border. They also took a little from right here, which I don't think the Dutch care. They're like, if you need it, you need it. That's all. And then they just like say, we do need it. And yeah. So yeah, they expanded more right here. They expand in Crimea. And then they just kept going down here. So yeah, there is now starting to be more demand for it to expand western, well, eastwards. So yeah, that's all. Now, Norway looks more like a Russia than a Norway pound. So now, next up, they're going to unite, and then they form Alaska, called the Union of Alaska. So yeah, this is becoming a new nation right here. We got a new union established. After long fighting, they decided, let's work out a difference and form a new nation, which went successfully. So yeah, now we got the Europa Union. And of course, they get a large expand, which they're going to try to take advantage of the Serbs and start to take over them very efficiently, very easily. Easily manage to cross route right here, take some Byzantine lands right here, and now Europe looks a lot more powerful. They took over half of Greece and then start to expand more right here in the west. They established a continent right here and then now manage to cut them off between Russia and the Byzantines, and now start to expand more in Egypt, back to Egypt, to see if they could try to take them back over and let Crablandia roam free. So yeah, now they're going to become expansion. Now next up, the Union of the Caribbean. They're going to adapt a new religion. And I think this is a perfect time for them to adapt. They're going to abandon wisdom for Latinism so that they can take advantage of one thing, which is probably to take over Colombia. Next up, Tanzania. They get a large expand. Something also happens where they just yeah, we're taking over these rivers right here. And now we're going to take over part of this lake right here. They're going to take over this lake, these rivers, and move up to Eritrea and Djibouti. So yeah, they're now much expanded and a lot less quiet than Egypt, which is now probably going to lead to a bunch of giants probably going to crush Egypt. Because you got a European one right here, you got a rising one, Tanzania, and this one right here, if they connect to you. So yeah, now you got one more on your border. Well, two more coming. And now they have access to the rivers, which now makes Africa look kind of like 1984 borders, which I don't think I'm a fan. Now we got Japan. They got a large expand. Yeah, they're starting to expand very greatly. Into China, they managed to do that. They expanded China more and more. They discovered some rivers right here. They decided to connect more to their civilizations right here. And then start to expand a lot bigger. And then it just ends up like this. Yeah, let's make Japan more easier to see. Let's see, this is pretty much good. Yeah, for them. Now, let's see who's next. Salvo. They're adopting a religion. And this one, I think there's not much religion they could adopt. I think they're just going to adopt this religion right here, and that's it. Next up is the Byzantines. And of course, they split. And I think the perfect time has come for the Anatolians to rise up. This is their time to rise back up to the top, to make sure they don't get suppressed ever again by the Byzantines. Anatolia returns, and they managed to form back into a solid nation. And then here it is. Now we get to the next thing. There. Now that's next up. Crablandia. What will happen to them? They build a fort. The Crusty Fort 2 is right here. Crusty Fort 1 is right here. Let's make a Crusty Fort like between here, since this is probably going to be a good trade route. Crusty Fort 3. Yeah, that was kind of a mistake I made. But now it's 510, and I think we should shift things a lot more. Let's make splits a little more common. So yeah, it will still happen, just not in the extent of this. Forts are also going to be a lot less common. Doppel is way too much. So yeah, we got confirmed that. Next up, got the Angolan Empire. They spread a religion, the Congo of the crabs, compared to Crablandia. Cleoism. Yeah, they'll spread Cleoism right here. Now their religion is a lot more damn. Now, they're kind of friends. New York's next move is a new union. The Canadian Islands will not with them. So yeah, America's starting to look more filled in. Now, we got Central Canada again. They start the Age of Unity. And now, let's see who's next. Colombia. They get a large expand. After a while, they start to try to take advantage of the Civil War. And they start to take over a lot. They come out from the coast, meet up with the Venezuelans, and also try to take. They also buy land from the more Chicans right here, so that they can be used a lot better, since they're going to probably want to help out. So yeah, the Colombians knew this was a great idea, and then for them to switch ideologies, well, not ideologies, but more like religions. So yeah, they just starting to get more and more better. So yeah, they managed to start to advance into here a little bit, take some of these ports over, and then they'll just probably let the Venezuelans take care of the rest, unless they do nothing, which most likely happen. But Colombia is now probably the real recognized government now, after a while. Now, there's definitely no purple right here. Nope. Now, in the next turn, the Byzantines, they're going to unite. And hopefully, it'll be with Anatolia again. They were like, yeah, we're surrounded by big powers. We need you. The next one is the Fedor dynasty, and they get a new leader. The Byzantines return, and they split again. They're like, yeah, this union, oh, it's true. And then they're like, psych. Nope. Anatolia. So yeah, they're now deep fried. But will they gain more land from this? Probably not, but the split hurts the the Byzantines again, and then they just managed to lose a major city from it. Now we enter Karma back. They split again. So yeah, the split broke Karma cult. They're like, yo, we need to try something new. The Karma's called Karma Boy. Now, no, it's not Karma Boy, but it'll be like a Karma Rebel. It's a united rebellion formed on the fort of Maple. That's like, yo, we need a new change. This can't be it. And so a civil war has happened in Karma that made them lose their whole fort. So yeah, they kind of lost a lot. And are now forced to stay in this major city. So yeah, they need to figure out something or else Karma is going to lose. Now, next up, the Karma Rebellion again. They decide, yeah, we're taking this country over. So yeah, they took over the river right here. It is starting to advance very greatly to reestablish Karma back to a better state. Which Karma was like, you can take some of the land. You can just go up north. We'll do nothing about it. And then they were like, nah. So yeah, they took some of the land from them, and then they were like shooting at Canadians, since they did nothing to stop it. So yeah, there is only some smaller states left that they have to take down. Yeah, there's nothing much left that they have to do. Yeah, they knew it was already gone before it was too late. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. T. Yeah, they knew it was gone before it was too late. So yeah, Karma is done. Now, Crab Landing. We enter Crab Landing. And they're going to unite with the Crabitines again to reform Grand Crablandia again. Hopefully, this does not lead to another split. Grand Crablandia is back. Now they just need to take care of these Mexico rebels. So now, let's see what's Beastland. They got split. Yeah, like, what happened? Yeah, every time you're small, you become big. And every time you become big, you start falling off. What's wrong with you, Jimmy? Yeah, so there's something interesting that also happened. There starts to be some... Yeah, these rebels do not come from a major city like here. It comes from the border. Why is the border have so much rebels? But let's see. Its name is called the Beastland Jamster level. Yeah, the rebels are also very different too. They come straight from the border here, like it was a planned attack. Like, how was the attack so planned? That's on the borders right here. And surprisingly, it took a major city too, and it is starting to take out. It took out Florida, and then just managed to discovered that too is the loop. And then person who is second in control is Bond. Their claim is that they're here to take back what was originally theirs and to reestablish their colonies that was once betrayed. So yeah, the person managed to reform it, isn't in control of it, but they were responsible for this rebellion right here and put the person up here. Now, next up, the Union of Alaska. They already gotten a large expansion. They were like, yo, I need to finish them off. And they finish off the rest of these rebels. But not only that, but they just stopped and then just took a little land from the Canadian Union. And then it just reduced them a little bit more. Took over some of these lands right here. And then took some of California. And then just started to take more land, of course. Why wouldn't they take more land? And why would they want to take land? Oh wait, resources. Yeah. Good one. Good one. Now, Ravage. They get a new leader. This one is named... Who's that? You know, we're going to call him Zach. We're going to call him Zach. Since that is not a real name. So yeah, Zach is now the new leader of Ravage. And so he wants them to be more diverse than the others. So he forms and decides, yeah, we should become more part like what we are doing with them, which makes some of their neighbors happy, like the Mushroom Kingdom in central Canada, but also made Planetania mad. It kind of made him mad. But we'll see what action it takes. Now we got the Norwegian Rus. And also a new nation was formed. And I wonder who it could be and why they want to form a new nation. Now, obviously, there is going to be something that's going to happen. Yeah, the Nordics were like, yeah, that's too much land. Let's slow it down. Let's give a nation independence. But not only that, they can form their new nation. So yeah, during this time, there was now a red nation that got formed. It was a formation between all the... They're going to form it right here. It's going to be called the Kiev Rus. So yeah, they're deciding to form a new nation up here, where there's a lot more things right going on. Yeah, the Kiev Rus is going to become kind of a major power. Well, not a major power at the beginning, but they're going to take over few lands right here. They're going to thank the Nordics for giving them these lands. And now they completely decide to completely respect them. And Awithnata believes that they should get a little more land up here, but they'll just wait a while. Now for the Dutch common. They're going to get a meeting space. An operation happens in North, which the Dutch were like, yeah, after we're mad at you, so we're taking this. We're also taking a little land from up north. So yeah, they're going to try to take back some of their land that they once lost, and even gain more right here. So yeah, this was kind of revenge for that whole land lost, and they managed to form this one right. But this was not ordered by them. It was ordered by the Europa Union force. So yeah, we got Rome, but European. Now Tanzania. It's going to unite with a nation. And I believe the nation they'll unite with is the Angolan Empire, which now will form a new nation right here, which I think will be called the Mekong Republic. Yeah, the Mekong Republic is the Mekong Union, the Mekong Federation. Its goals were to make sure to secure the border, make sure things go right, and all stuff like that. Now we got the Congo Republic, the rebellion, and they form a new nation. Let's see what we got sorted. So yeah, the Republic was a new Congo was a new nation that was formed. They decided, yeah, let's cross through Alaska, since what if there was something to go straight here through Alaska? So the Alaskans let them through. They got through here, and then they crossed through or here, and they found Japan. And they're like, yo, let's make some trade on this. So yeah, this will be called the Eastern Siberian Republic. That is their name for now. It was formed after a bunch of people come through here, and then they decide, yeah, let's make some trades right here. So yeah, they managed to get a lot from the coast, and then now they're pretty much a great power in the east. So yeah, this is an Eastern Siberian Republic, and now we have what it looks like now. It was this color right here. Let's see how it changed over time. Now we got the Mexican Federation. What do? Well, they just were like, yeah man, we don't want to be this way. So yeah, they were called the Mexican People's Army. They believed that they were kind of disrespected, and it also kind of forms in the border of a certain nation. Yeah, its goals were their simple and pretty fair, and it is just to reunite its people under one. Yeah, they will recognize the Central Americans as theirs and put this capital back to its original place. Now we got New York back. they get expand, and then they'll just buy some land right here in exchange for some money, some free travel, and to allow them to travel through the border freely in case there's prisoners coming ahead. Since there are a lot of prisoners trying to travel through this country, but luckily all were managed successfully captured by the Quebecians. So yeah, now we got this. Next up, Egypt. Egypt will do a little context. They took over more of Anatolia. That's simple. Simple and easy. So they could try and take back this right here, but they're not going to do that. And then we got the Kiev Rus. They get an expand. Now, a huge bump. So since they're going to take a little, they'll buy land from more land from the Norwegians. Created this route right here. Since they found more valuable gold right here, and so they'll just let it happen. And also, they found more of the coast right here, and could meet up with Constantinople. Not for war, but more like just to trade. Probably not going to take the capital. And then, let's hope the capital does not. Oh no. Yeah, Constantinople falls 500 years earlier in our time. So yeah, they took that. They could start to take over, or yeah, let's hope they. Yeah, Byzantine is. Yeah, the fall of the Byzantines now have been official. Yeah, and Anatolia could be next too. So yeah, Kiev Rus has a lot different roads than our Kiev Rus. Although they want some of those lands north to keep them safe, they don't care. They want more. Now we get back to Chile. Oh no. We got flashbacks once again. So yeah, there is something going on in this country. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we are kind of struggling. We need money. So yeah, they raised taxes sky high. And this has caused North Chile to rise up. So yeah, they're kind of, yeah, let's just say they're doomed. Yeah, South Chile spans up here. They also nearly take the capital. Well, they took the capital. They even took the capital now. And this is what it looks like. In Argentina, what do? They start the Age of Unity. Again, now the United Union. Yeah. Oh no, they just. Yeah, the people do not like it. But strangely enough, it's rebels from right here. It is called the People's Republic. The People's Union. Not the United Union. The People's Union. Is a state that believes everyone should be equal no matter who you are. And it took over all of Cuba. It took over Cuba. It took over the castle. And it took over the castle too. So yeah, they got Big Island right here. Yeah, they're both recognized as the United Union, but one can be. They believe, under Griffith, they believe that the United Union has failed their job. And they just claimed it, no, we did not. So yeah, Now, we head to the Eastern Siberian Republic, where they just unite. Let's say they just establish themselves, so they'll unite with themselves. So yeah, Sabel is going to unionize and create a new nation under a new federation. They're going to call themselves. Now they'll unite with Argentina to create the United Federation. They are more related to Chico and Latinism, but they probably want to unite more with Argentina, and so that they, in exchange for one thing, they want to become a full-on socialist. That's what they want. So they do that, and then they're united under, called the Federal People's State. Or we could simply call it Argentina for now. Yeah, but this is also Argentina too, so the Federal People's State is also good. Now for the Make-A Federation. They get a small expand. Yeah, they're starting to become too big, I think. Now that there's a federation now. And so they link up right here. They link up right here. They do this. They manage to capture some of Arabia right here. And now this is looking a lot bigger. Now the Guyana forces, what will happen to them? Made them expand. They took advantage of this right here, the mess that happened, and take one of their major cities. Now making the leader probably flee. But they don't just do that. They just cut them off. Like, they knew they would escape. Now they're going to be like, now you're going to try. Now you will lose, definitely. You will not be like another one of those leaders from Europe, which they do not know who they are. So they don't know who the leaders, but they're like, yo, some leader from Europe left, and then they just gone with the tail. So yeah. Some of them don't even know who Mama is. Like, Guyana right here, right now, there's also yeah, and now we say rest in peace to the Caribbean Union. Because now this means any of these two could be called the Caribbean Union. But now, let's see what happens. We see California returns, and they get a medium expand. They're like, yeah, we need to secure the border against Mexico. So they took a major city from them. And then also, to not upset the Caribbeans, they just don't go past this river. Well, they do get past this river, but other than that, they left the rest to them, and they can finish the kill. So they did that, and Crablandia is here. Now, the next one, the Make-A Federation. We see a split. Finally, thank you. Thank you. I want to see them destroyed. I want to see them gone. Thank you. Now the split will become very complicated but easy. It will be in Ethiopia. Now this will be called the United States of Ethiopia. Yeah, this will be called Ethiopia for now. They formed in the regions right here, grabbed some of this land right here, took over all of this, and now they're kind of like this new power now. Ethiopia exists, and Ethiopia is here to stay. That's what they said to them. Ethiopia is now the new future. So yeah, this kind of scared Eve a little bit, but they also crossed through these rivers right here, almost reaching Bankai City. But then they just stopped because they don't want any more trouble. But these people were like, alright, we respect it. You can go ahead, leave us. They're like, oh, okay then. Thank you. And now we head to the Planktanian Empire, where they get a large expansion. And guess who they get the rage on? In which you know who? The new leader of Rap City. They took their capital, and they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to accept that. You betrayed us, now we're going to take you down. Yeah, they took him down pretty bad. And Zach was left. Yo, why you beat me? Come on. Because they were like, because you decided to betray us, now we're going to decide to betray you. Now, the next one, the Mexican Federation. They'll build a castle. Of course they do. But the only question is, why do you need a castle? Oh yeah, it's to protect them from this right here. And they will call it Fort Mexico 1. Meanwhile, they're just going to have to fight this. Now, got the Fedor Dynasty. And what will happen to the Fedor Dynasty? Oh, come on. Now they're going to finish off the kill right here. And then some parts will still live. Somehow. Now, Fedor Dynasty again. They get a large expand. They're going to cross through here. They're going to make some land gains right here. And they also connect to Egypt now. Finally, after a long time, they connect to Egypt, where they're now splitting the river with Ethiopia. And also, there is kind of some tension going on right here, which they did just deal a little bit of board right here, which upsetted the European Federation. So let's hope this does not get into a big war one day and cause the fall of this empire. Now let's get to the next one. We're back at Quebec, and they're going to form a union. And this union is pretty simple and easy. They're united with New York. So yeah, now this is now the United States. And there isn't much other than if you can find a cube right here. If you can find the cube, then let me know in the comments where it could be. Now, this is now starting to look more united and united. Well, except for this Mexico right here, but New Mexico right here, and then here. And then we got hit this right here, so it's starting to be more united cat together. Peter Dynasty, what's going to happen? A union. Now a union is going to happen after a while. A union, that kind. Yeah, we're not going to unite since there's nothing you can unite with. Because they can't unite with them since they're upset. And these guys just formed, so they're trying to figure out who they are and why they exist. So they're not going to join no dynasty just to upset them. And also, Egypt is off the tables, since if you try to annex them, then you're going to make a coalition form against you. So now, let's see. The Mika Federation gets a small expand. So yeah, they expand more down the rivers right here, so that they can make some more, well, have some more people, of course. Why not? Now, Morochico. They get a new leader. Zano. Yeah, will this become a country's downfall? We don't know. Now, Ethiopia. They get a large expand. We're going to take advantage of these new rivers linked to right here, and is now headed to more of right here. They managed to link through here, and now they managed to board more of Yemen here. After 600 years, well, less than 600 years, we're starting to get more of Arabia, and we could get a Mesopotamia right here and Arabia right here. We could, but right now, we're not going to see. Mexico is bad. What's going to happen to them? Oh, they're going to unite. Not unite with who? This one is want to not. So let's make a story for this. If not, then let's see. They're going to unite with the Mexican Confederation to form their own state and make sure they escape easily. But the only problem is you're cut off between Prablandia and Prablandia. Even if you take out California, you're still trapped unless you go from right here. So yeah, is this a waste? Probably. Will this matter in the future? Yes. Now Central America, they're going to unite. And this one is very easy to unite. They're going to unite with the rebels, surprisingly. Yeah, now we got this nation right here. We got Argentina next. And they'll form a union, surprisingly. And then they managed to get, after rigging an election and making this Oslo look bad, they managed to yeah, we're heading back to the Argentine Rays. So yeah, they managed to just left Latinism easily. Now there's kind of a little more border right here. Now, let's head to the next one. The Planktania Empire's back. And also, now there's a split. Yeah, we're going to create a new republic right here. We already have 2 blues. So yeah, there's a red right here. So yeah, let's see. The Planktania Republic was like, yeah, everyone is part of this, so. And then they decide, like, yo, I'm not part of y'all. I'm doing my own thing. The Mario Union State leaves them. So yeah, a little less united, but hey, at least managed to leave. So yeah, and they took the Crab Tower. Well, another Chum Tower. So yeah, now Plankton is left towerless. So now Ratfish come back, and they split into civil war. And they call themselves Peaceage, which you may think, yeah, that's good. Except, yeah, this comes from a random state on the border of right here, which is kind of crazy. We don't know what it is, and no pictures could take. Well, there's no pictures nor sounds, so we don't know. Now the European Union starts the Age of Division. Finally, now who's next? Guyana forces. They unite, and surprisingly, they unite with the Venezuelan movement, causing this to become a new age. Now, we arrive to Bludia, and they get a small split. So yeah, we can see, yeah, they're like, yo, we want to join. If you're going to join, let us be part of the Empire. Let us leave, please. And then so, they just call themselves the Peach Islands. And they left with ease. So yeah, Bludia, my country, didn't do anything for a while. So much, yeah, my people were like, yeah, if you're gonna let us join the Mushroom Kingdom, let us be a part, lead, and then just wait for them to join us. Either they join us or we join them. So yeah, now this is the whole thing now. Now we got this thing right here, and now they managed to go for this. Now it's kind of like now Peach owns this right here. Benus is now owns this. Since now the leader is Peach, Benus wants to unite them. So let's see how that goes. So yeah, now Canada's a little more united now. Even though a civil war happened in central right here. Let's see how that goes. Now we enter North Chile. And they split as well. They call this the Chilean loyalists. And they want their independence as well. When more Chile gave you independence, you immediately rebel. Yeah, Chile is cursed. Somehow they're cursed. And this is now what it looks like now. Chile looks like they got the aftermath of the Invincible War. It's kind of bad. Now, the Common Republic. Don't adopt the religion. Let me give me a minute, and I'll just Yeah, sorry everyone, my brother just lost his phone, so yeah, I had to call him and snap. So yeah, I'll put a timestamp to make sure what happens. But now, and also, I checked the notifications, and the show is still continuing. So yeah, let's go. Now, we head up to Ravage, and they get split again. They get split again. This time, right here, the CCL, which is right here, in this state right here. Yeah, Ravage is in chaos right now. It's a chaotic mess. So now, who's gonna solve? Now, the Fedor Dynasty is here. And somehow, how are y'all expanding? How are y'all expanding? You got nowhere else to go. So yeah, they kept going up north. No matter how hard it is, they kept going north. They also stick to up here, and now this is what it looks like. Now the Union of Alaska gets a medium expand. There we go. And now, there we go. There we go. And now, this is what it looks like right now. The F and R is still alive. How are they still? And they are Mexico. What's going to happen? Yeah, they get split off again. This time, they're like, yeah, this was a huge mistake. And this is called the Mexico state. Now, also, before I continue, let me tell you something about Wixowise. The purple team is not part of the old empire. I'm going to tell you that. That was a map mistake I've seen by many other people. They are not the same. Well, they're not puppets too. The Mexico state and then just Mexico. They got two different colors now. And heading up, we got the return of the Union. And they get a small split. And we see the return. Iklo. Karma. If they're going to found the islands right here, we're going to stay right here on the coast. They're going to go right here, cross through the lakes, and manage to found this state right here. And then they just form it right here. They don't continue even further, and Alaska just stopped. Now, the Dutch Commonwealth got a union out. And this was a rigged vote by which the Dutch made the Norwegian Rus head election. Nokasi got kicked out of power after they found the law was guilty. So yeah, the 235-year union was a lie. and now they're going to pay the price. And now the Dutch look bigger now. And the Europeans, or the European Unions, are going to win. Great. Now, Peakage gets a large expand. They're going to take over much of this area. They're going to take over this, of course. Let's see. And then took over all of this right here. Now, this is what is left. They're now kind of like under the influence of Peach now. And so, yeah, the Mushroom Kingdom kind of united this whole state now. There's 3 states that want to join it. Now, you see, Peakage, they're going to unite. And easily, they unite with the Mari Union State, creating Peachage, but with now this, which was a rebellion from the nation, with now, dang it, Kivras. Now we got this version right here, and it kind of split. So yeah, this state did not last long. But, well, womp womp to it. Now who should we bring back? And the answer is very simple. It's the Byzantines again, called the Third Byzantine Empire. Well, this might be the Second Byzantine Empire, technically. Yeah, well, first they were just disconnected from. So yeah, third time's a charm. So first Byzantine came from the Romans, the second one from splitting from Anatolia and were not with them. And then the third one was the rebirth after Kivras lost split. So yeah, they lost kind of badly. But not too badly, since they could just always cross through Constantinople if they don't get caught. Guys. Now, let's see who's next. Mexico. They'll adapt to religion. Yeah, they're going to adopt this religion right here, so that they don't get more ruined than ever. And Crablandia surprisingly does not have religion yet. Central Canada, they get a large expand. Now, they took advantage of what's happening right here, and they just took it over like that. No big surprise here. They took it over with ease and do it very quickly. Yet Canada is becoming more bigger right now, and they also took advantage of the coastline right here, and now they have a coastline. Now the Chilean royals, they get a large expand. They expanded up here to take out the North Chileans, take some of those lands, and is starting to invade up south, down south of where they are, so that they could finish the job. But will that job be finished? or will it be destroyed? So yeah, they also buy these lands right here. Sell them to some people. They'll come off right here, and then now they connect to you. Now we get to Argentina, and this is already kind of bad for them, of course. So now Aries and Bruno have to decide to split in two. They split into South Argentina. So South Argentina is back, but it's a small split. And also, it's not officially Argentina. It could be called something else entirely. So yeah. Now, this is going to be North Argentina, South Argentina. Well, this is the real Argentina, not North. So, People's Union is now here. They diverge their religion, their nation, to right here, and then to their own state, origin, right here. The People's Union. Crablandia, Crowns, Crablandia. So yeah, their origins are also very similar. So yeah, now we enter Brazil, and they get small expands. Of course they do. They took over some of the smaller lands, and then they just left. They took some of the small lands, and then they just stayed, took some of these islands right here, thinking that it's theirs, but really it's not. They took a lot of few of these islands right here. And accidentally thought that was theirs, but the father was like, that's okay, you can keep them, we don't need them. So yeah, now next nation, Grand Crablandia, and they get a large expand. So yeah, taking advantage of what's happening, they take over. Yeah, the Mexicans are kind of, they cross through these lands, destroy Indian Mexicans right here, and Mexico dreams are dead. Except right here, if they could get to them. But any Mexican lands from Crestlandia are failed. Also, they took over. Their imperialism also made a mission to conquer all of these lands right here. And they're like, why are you doing this? Because it was pretty much theirs. And they also took advantage of something else. They took these lands, and called it theirs. And also, they took Miami too from them. So yeah, from those rebels, which upsetted a certain person off. And there's now going to try to take them down. Which it was not for land takes. Because they never did it for any land takes. They did it for a reason. They discovered what has happened to the United Union, which was formed right here. So that they wanted goals and found out, oh no, we messed up. And then, so yeah, they're like, oh no, we gotta stop them. We need to interfere in this. So yeah, Beeson was like, yo, can I, so that means you're on my side? And that was like, yes, but we might need to take some of your land. They're like, oh, yeah, and then it's now time for operation. They join this war now. Now, next up, Guyana forces. Yeah, and that their dreams are dead. Because Venezuela announced that they're going to leave Guyana. Venezuela, after a lot of heated arguments, they decided, yeah, we're leaving y'all. So yeah, Guyana dreams are over. Guyana is gone. And now they decide to cut him off right here. So yeah, Guyana is now looking doomed. So now, this is what it looks like. Now we enter this country. We got Egypt. What will happen to them? They will get a medium expand. Alright, for them, they decided to take over the rest of Anatolia from they decided to take over the rest of the country of Anatolia. And now they see the continuation of, trying to take down them until they also decide to take down the Europeans, of course, but they stopped when the fort happened, and then they just decided to take some land from Ethiopia, and then managed to reach a little more to the coast right here. So yeah, Egypt is looking a lot more bigger, and then they just stopped right here. So yeah, Egypt now become new. And now we get to the Byzantines. They're going to adopt a religion, which once again will be Cleoism. They're readapting Cleoism back. So yeah, now that. And now there starts to be more countries here. Now let's get into Mexico. What will happen? Yeah, they're going to unite. Yeah, this small dot. Listen, Mexico, I like you. Your food's good. But who wants to unite? No. You could unite with California, but the chances of that are 0.10000001%. So they unite with themselves as the smallest uniting ever. Now we get to the Falkland Kingdom, and they start the Age of Unity. Now the BL Japster rebels are going to expand a lot. They're going to take over all of this right here. And it's now starting to push back the Beastland rebels. Yeah, Jimmy did not prepare for this. He did not prepare for this. They lost the lands right here, the towers. New York is gone. Well, New York is under the Quebecians, but they lost Cuba to DC, which was one of their original votes. And then Beastland is now under siege. And they yeah, we surrendered. So now they're technically the new governors. And they demand Miami back from the Crabs. So yeah, they just give them back and handed them some more reputations. And also technically take back Jimmy Towers too. So yeah, they did lose a little land, but it was worth it at least. So now, and now they announce this will become the official. The name of the nation has been revealed. They call it Grand Amsterdam to the Atlantic coast. And then they put Mama in front. So yeah, Mama has now started the new war. And this, technically, we're back in the trilogy again, technically, if there is, but probably not. And Grand Crablandia was like, no, you're not leader of Grand Crablandia. We're going to call him Eugene. Mr. Krabs will be good. Was like, yeah, we're not accepting that. And then they're like, what did you say? And then something happens, which probably was surprising for them. Mexico revolted from Grand Crablandia. This has now managed to resurface back. After a mini rebellions, they managed to reform themselves. They took this land right here, and even some of this land right. So yeah, this was originally occupied territory. Now they're leaving the state, and they're like, you better try to attack us then. Let's see if you attack then. Armrabs, crabs. And then there's a crab's like, nah. So yeah, the Q states. Yeah, it was like, yeah, we're back. And then they just took over Miami again. And then took the Krusty Fort. So the Q has resurfaced, which surprises many across the Great Lakes, which is just incredible. California take the advantage. Well, just gets a new leader. Now, Chico announces, yeah, this is crazy, but what if things go right? So yeah, Chico took advantage of the weakening Crablandia, decides to, yeah, should we unite? Yeah, so they decided to unite with Colombia and decided, yeah, we're expanding up north now and try to make sure this is paramount. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we need to make trade good. Let's do it. The Peach Islands were like, yeah, we're done. So there was like the Bluedian Island. Yeah, you may have seen the Peach Islands, but now you guys see the Bluedian Islands. So yeah. And technically, they're kind of like this, but not. And Mama is returned as leader, and it's now total war on the Europeans. So Dutch, Europe, and even Key Russ is not safe from this war now. This became an Atlantic war. So yeah, Bluedian Islands, what's going to happen to them? Yeah, they're going to get a medium expansion. They take a lot of North Pole now. They took from North Pole. And then just stop. The People's Union, what do they think? they managed to get the United Union back to its original state. So yeah, under them, they're now the People's Union, or now known as the United Caribbean, which did manage to create a new state, and somehow, in some way, shape, or form, reformed the Caribbean state. So yeah, the Caribbean is back, but under a new name, under a different government. Yeah, so it's under a People's Republic. So both peoples and democracy is allowed and welcome. Now we get to the next event. The Mika Federation sees this and adopts they don't change, but now we see this happening. Now we go back to California, and they get a small split. So yeah, this not only affected Crablandia, but it affected a lot of the world. So yeah, this. And then we see California. We see something called Newfoundland. Mexico, California gets formed immediately. So yeah, right here is where it's formed at. So yeah, things are starting to fall apart for not only Crablandia, but for the whole Americas, technically. So now we got this state right here. Got formed after many republics just united. Now we got this. The Mika Federation. And now they got split. So yeah, this Mama's took over Beastland, probably created the world, making it worse. Yeah, it's so bad that South, that there is now a new country got formed. It is called Madagascar. And then it's just this like bluish nation right here. So yeah, King Julian is the leader of this nation. It was formed after, well, not going for a monarchy and making them in charge. So yeah, they left, even taking some of these islands too. So yeah, they're kind of due. So yeah, they need to try to take them down now, or else. So yeah, this happens in Crablandia, or at least the Mika Federation is kind of falling apart now. It was peak or during right here, but now it's going to fall apart somehow. Now we get to Central America, where after a long while, yeah, something also happens too. Many Central Mexicans feared that after this war happened, they believed they could be next on the chopping block. So yeah, they just decided some of them are going to either leave. So where do they go, they say? It's already occupied right here. So yeah, they decided, yeah, let's head to Asia, where they just travel fakely right here and just decide, yeah, let's settle in the Philippines. So yeah, after a while, they managed to go, or at least settle in Siberia someplace. And after a while, they managed to find a place that's perfect. Someplace in Mongolia. They formed a civilization in this river right here. So yeah, under these places, yeah, they managed to form a new civilization right after tricking the Siberians thinking they're just some hordes, guys. So yeah, or visitors. They managed to leave. Now, next up, the Union of Alaska. Yeah, they also fear the expansionists. Decides, yeah, we're taking you over just in case things go bad. And then Ichlo gets nearly taken out. So yeah, the Union of Alaska is going to unite peacefully with Ichlo Karma. Yeah, now the whole Canadian states are scared of what's happening right now. Madagascar is going to unite easily with themselves, but first of all, let's get this out of the way. King Julian. Welcome back. King Julian the First. Unite with themselves. Now, Polata. What's going to happen to them? Yeah, they feared their next decides to connect themselves up and try and find a way to leave the Americans before things get way worse. Especially with the green. Lactania is their client. So yeah. And now the Eastern Siberian Republic now happens. And they get a small expand. And they're saying is, yeah, we need to find those people right here that just left who are visitors. So yeah, let's find them. And they did not find them yet because they're all the way right here. So yeah. Next up, South Argentina. What happened to them? They're going to build another castle. This one's going to be called Fort Messi 2. Yeah, because I don't know what other Argentina media we got other than this. But now, Lactania Empire, they're going to unite. And they're going to unite, force them to unite with them. Yeah, they made a rigged election, which kind of upset the Mushroom Kingdom a bit, but they're like, in the end, it doesn't matter. We got them back. So yeah. And also, he's still alive though. So that's a good bastion to stay in. Now, next up, the Fedor Dynasty on day 600. It ends with a small expansion. But anyways, I think now that we do this, let's not end this with 600. Let's end, yeah, I got it wrong, 600. It ended with this right here. But now, instead, we want to do something that's kind of interesting. That you might think, yeah, to make sure this doesn't become too long for the next episode. Yes, this one is going to be different. We're going to get to 625 as like a short teaser for y'all to watch, which is to continue that war right here and make sure it ends the war. Now, next up, we head to Gien. They do a small expand. And this leads to more tensions to rise up. Since They just wanted to get some more land. And now they just lost that. So now, it's gone. So yeah, Guyana is right here now. And now, Venezuela is right here. Central America is going to get a new nation. Right here. There's more people fearing this now. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we need to fly right here, so. Well, or at least float down so that they don't make sure they can keep the Europe down. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we need to take a boat here and go to China, like Japan, of course. But when they explored, they actually stumbled upon not here, but the Philippines. They're called the Philipp Republic. So yeah, there we go. Here it goes. This is now the Philipp Republic. Now, let's head. It's going to spread right here. They're now going to start to take over a lot of islands there. Even one right here, which later becomes Vietnam right here, on the coast of right here. So yeah, Vietnam is also now technically part of it right here. We got Malaysia right here, and then to just start over here. Now we get to the next one, Central America. They're going to get many new. How many nations? Yeah, there must be a lot of people leaving Central America because of that war. That has to be it. So yeah, another one leaves. It did manage to go to Japan and successfully starts a new nation right here called Manchuria. Yeah, Manchuria. Yeah, they escaped so bad. So now they just decided, yeah, we're going to need to stay here. So yeah, we need to get rid to leave this war. So yeah, they are a huge problem for us. So yeah, we need to get ready to get out of this war. And Venezuela was like, yeah, I'm dead. So yeah, how are we gonna do this? So yeah, guerrilla called Amazonian warriors managed to form after this war, causing them to form the Amazonia right here. So that after this war, they just managed to leave and then just form their own nation. And then managed to form right here. And this is now Venezuela right here. Well, Amazonia, of course, but now there is a lot of nations right here. So yeah, Amazonia managed to get to here. And the European Union has now decided, yo, we need to get rid of this nation now. We need a new formation of its government. And Central K was like, alright, but Karma's now revolted on us. Now, wait, what? Yeah, Karma is wanting us to go bye-bye. Yeah. Karma just immediately leaves. So yeah, this proves this is now starting to go very, very bad for all Canada. So yeah, Karma is gone, and then managed to farm a new nation right here. So yeah, Karma's right here. Yeah, and then managed to form a new nation over here. So yeah, Karma managed to reform its state right here. And now Manchuria returns. And of course they split in back 2. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we need new change. So yeah, South Manchuria. So they were like, yeah, we need to take down Japan and form our bear empire. And they're like, what bear empire? We're not an empire. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we're not an empire. We're very peaceful. We should be friends with Japan, and then we got us here in the first place. And then Salmachi was like, nah, I'm doing my own thing. And they come off through the coast and made sure that they never reached Japan. So yeah, let me change the colors real quick. So yeah, they need to be a lot. Nope. And there we go. Nope. Let's just go for a more dark red. Maybe. Alright, much better. Anyways. Now we get back to Crablandia. And they're like, yeah, we're cooked. We're so cooked. We're so cooked that they split in 2. Great Crablandia is becoming destroyed right now. They reformed the Crabitine Empire for like the 5th time. So yeah, Mr. Krabs' return to power was kind of already a scary one to see. Yeah, because now they return back with vengeance. Yeah, they are starting to fall apart. Yeah, now, if you look right here, yeah, they are now split in 2 again. Now, they decide to reform back. Well, not reform, but yeah, Crablandia is starting to get a lot destroyed right now. So yeah, by the Crabitines, by the Dutch, well, half of the Dutch, because their leaders led by a Dutch. They got destroyed by Mexico. They got, yeah, even the Q returns, and then just destroys them a lot. The thumbnail might be crazier than last time. Now, got Union of Alaska. They're like, yeah, we're diverging our origin back to here. And then Eastern Siberian Republic will be like, yeah, we need to find those people back. Finding more people to find back. And then they just like, yeah, we're gonna find the other peoples. And then they just stop right here. Now we enter the Bluedian Islands, where they just medium expand to right here. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we are expansionists, but yeah, the whole world is right now gone wrong. Yeah, we see Crablandia falling, we see Mexico everywhere, we see California right here, we see Central, well, it's more like a West Canada union, but Canada is starting to fall apart. So now why should we do it? And now Quebec's coming. And they see this thing collapsing and decide, yeah, we need to take the whole thing back right here. we're not going to join this war yet, because against them, we're going to wait for a while. And then they're just going to try to jump the Dutch. Well, they're not going to fully jump them because they got a power right here, so they're taking this whole coast right here from... They're going to take the whole coast right here from the Crablandians because everything's gone bad. But luckily they did destroy the cube, so they don't return again. But Crablandia is starting to fall apart. So yeah, it's falling apart for the second time in its history. Now we reach the Eastern Siberian Republic, where they get a medium expand. Great. So yeah, Siberia is still continuing to expand. Hopefully they won't be like the last two of them in Africa. These two other guys. Now we reach right here to Manchuria, and they get a large expand. Yeah, their goal is to take out Manchuria again, so that they won't bully Japan, which they luckily did successfully. But they successfully take down the South Manchurians. So now they just chill out right here, wait for Japan's next move. So yeah, let's do this. Now the Philipp Republic, and they're going to unite. So yeah, they don't have anyone to unite with. Let me try to do something real quick. Let me just... Now. There we go. Yeah, just the South Battery, of course. Now let it just... There we go. Now. Next up. They did unite themselves successfully. Keep them more unit. Now, Ludia. What will happen to them? They'll adopt religion. And obviously, they're going to adopt themselves. So yeah, we did get Ludia twice in this video. Even though it counts as part of it since. Now we got Kiev Rus. They're splitting again. And this time, I think it'll be Ukraine. Yeah, now that this is happening, they're going to start losing a lot more. And this is called Ukraine, except more northern, and is kind of landlocked. They do have Kyiv. So yeah, now they're starting to get more and more land. Yeah, Ukraine is right here, and Europe is starting to look more fractured like America. Now the United People's Union. Well, they, nope, they decided to buy it like again. This time, Cuba leaves. Decides to leave the whole thing. But the only question is, Cuba fully leave yet? Cuba decides to leave and take nothing, just this one island. They left, and they were like, thank you for all what you've done. And now, Griffith was kind of upset by that. Now it looks more chaotic, more freak. So yeah, brown. We need a more brown religion here. So yeah, there it is right here. Cuba is right here. Everything's starting to look more chaotic. And the Dutch Commonwealth decides, yeah, they're going to split away from us. Yet, and this nation that splits away with them is going to be called a great move, called the Great Russian Movement. This is called the United Russian Republic. Yeah, this is now becoming a new power in the whole entire world. They managed to form right here. They form right over here. They also decided, yeah, we need to take down this little state. Yeah, even the Russians were like, yeah, we're leaving you. Because the world's gone crazy. So yeah, we're leaving you. So yeah, the Ukrainians leave and the Russians leave. Which is leaving this new Dutch Commonwealth pretty much fractured more and more. The Fifth Republic is now returned and gets a medium expand. So yeah, they decided to expand more to Vietnam instead of just taking care of like more Philippines and other stuff like that. They decided to leave for a more bigger continent. Plus, there's more places to go right here. And then managed to just leave, and then now we leave there and we're headed to Mexico. They get a large expand. And this day came for bigly, as Mexico starts taking over a lot of stuff. As this isn't just the end of war, it's going to become a beginning of war. As they saw, Mexico is trying to restore their old empire back. With a lot of chaos happening right now. And the Mexican, Central American people knew it, that Mexico is destroyed, it's far gone. Now, Grand Crablandia, yeah, Grand Crablandia cannot have a break, as there's now a new state trying to reclaim it. This is now going to be called Plantainian Rebels now formed after the Chumbug. Yeah, this is a more light. This is a split between them and some of the regions that were once part of the Plantainian Empire, is now fallen. So yeah, this might become a war now, and this might have started the age of war, or at least the whole American continent. It's already a chaotic mess. And also some of the rebels right here took the Chum Tower right now. And yeah, the Krusty Krab is in shambles. And now, what does King Julian do? And of course, they split. They call them the Indo Islands. They just left them because, yeah, they're like, yeah, we should leave you. And some of these islands are like, yeah, we should. Yeah, maybe we should. Indo Islands are now this orange-like nation right here. And India is becoming more closer to being discovered, and we can see the world more formed than ever. Yeah, right now. And then we end this off with Central Canada getting a new leader. And could this new leader save Canada? We don't know. But now we leave it off right here. And Canada, this is now what's happening in the newest world. Brain Crablandia has just collapsed into many states now. They've lost over fighting against the Dutch right here. Which now, this state declares war on the whole continent of Europe to restore their glory, to restore the Dutch order, to restore greatness back to their people. But now, this is probably all that's left right now. And then, I'm thinking about one of the biggest things. I'm planning on going until day 750. If there's no what's going on, then I'm doing day 750. Alright, we'll do day 750 if we manage to make it. Alright, test. Yeah, we'll make it to day 750 if we decide. Yeah, we'll make it to day 750. Tomorrow, there's no school. Now, this is what the world looks like now. It's all, and then we managed to start the Great Mama War. And now, everything is starting to look more corrupt, chaotic, and it's how one big mistake happened was that the Krusty Krab decides to let a criminal go into their country, which causes the biggest mistake and known for history. And now it's going to have some big consequences along with it. This 481-year empire is now going to have the biggest challenge it has ever faced. Its collapse. But will they survive the collapse, or will they just disappear to relevancy? But this one now becoming a new power. We'll find out next episode. Well, guys, thank you all for coming and staying here. I hope you like this stream. And then stay safe.